we had this question from Sangat, and actually a lot of people ask this before taking Amrit or after taking Amrit, is how to do sambal or how to care for our Kakkara. Maybe to make it easier, we just start from the top bottom, okay?
Yeah.
So the first one, case, right?
Yep.
So case di sambal, I think if we think about it, even the Panch Pyare will say, Ratname also say that we are not supposed to cut,
pluck,
color or bleach, and anything, from the top of our head right up till our toe, right? And then so minimum we must comb our case twice a day.
Yeah, that's why the Tankhana comes na.
Hanji.
Kanga dono waqt kar. Pag chunai kar bande.
Kanga dono waqt kar. We must comb our case twice a day with the kanga. And then what about the case that comes out when we comb it?
So it's advised that the case that drops from the kanga, right? We should actually keep them in a plastic bag or somewhere. And once you have a good amount of case, you can saskar them, agan paid them.
Okay. Agan paid is like burn them.
Burn them.
Okay.
And once you have the ashes, you can either throw them into the running water, or you can even just put it to a tree.
Just plant it in the soil,
plant it in the soil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, the case that falls off when we comb it, we must do satkar of those as well by not making sure it's not just anywhere. We don't throw them into the dustbin, but we do a good shade of it.
Because the case is the most important element of Sikhi.
And Guru Sahib loves case.
So Sikhi waste case is the more.
Hanji.
Kesi Ishnan katto kat. The least you should do Ishnan is once a week.
Once a week, yeah.
It's good to do Kesi Ishnan every day, right?
Especially if you're constantly sweating and
it depends on your body. If let's say you're a person who sweat a lot, then it's advisable to maintain your case as much as you can. Another point as well is about to sambal our case or to protect our hair. Maharaj has given us a case key,
the star. Yeah.
So that way we would be able to ensure our hair is intact.
Okay.
Otherwise, then gochu ho jandi hai.
Yeah. So then how do we care for case key? How do we sambala with the star?
Of course, I think the fundamental thing about case key is not to put it down. Kachere te bhi nahi lagna chahiye. You shouldn't touch the kachera. You shouldn't be on the floor on your legs, right? Inu saaf karke rakhna wa. And the most important thing is paak chune kar bandi. When you tie your case key, you have to make sure it's ek lad.
Means like one by one. Because nowadays
each round,
each hanji. Yeah. Because nowadays what people do just to make it easy, they will just take it off like a topi, like a hat.
I think a lot of them do a kanji kind of
kanji starch. And then just put it on back. And Guru Sahib say that the star case key is not a hat,
Exactly.
And then it's basically
Sikh hoye sir topi tarah saat janam kushti hoye mara.
So even in the Rahtanama it says a Sikh who wears topi, and it says that for 7 janam we will live as a maggot and die as a maggot. So it's a very big thing to ensure that the case key, the star we tie is like lad ke with every lad basically. And then we must make sure that we wash it, and care for it as well.
Especially when we do kesanda sambal, when you have the kanga as well, when you do kesi ishnan, ensure that you also wash your kanga.
Oh yes. Yeah. So talking about now kanga, when we do kesi ishnan, I think because what will when we must also wash our kanga as well, and then so that all the ganda in between every danda is clean as well. And then now if we speak about kanga, because many times I've seen that we use our kanga, but then many of us have broken kange because we don't know actually that once a kanga is broken, we cannot use it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to use it because when it gets stuck to your hair, it breaks your hair.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why the Singhs in the olden days they used to say, if your kanga is broken, immediately change it.
Yeah. So in fact, it's always recommended that you must carry a kanga with you, an extra kanga with you, and every kakkar.
Most of the kakkars, it's advisable, especially kanga and kachera, because these are the two kakkars that it's very difficult for us to get.
And then these are the two kakkars that will constantly need to be changed. So even with kanga as well, like when we purchase a kanga, I'm so particular about this that we always must look at the kanga, and you know, in between the danda, each like tooth,
the spacing.
The spacing is good, and there's no splinters in between.
Yes.
Because like you said, when the kanga is broken, it breaks the case.
Yeah.
But even the splinters in between, they also will break the case as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think kanga, because it's a practical kakkar, so in a chote ni, like a proper size.
It has to be practical.
Yeah.
Whatever kakkars we have, it has to be practical.
Yeah.
So that it's usable in our daily life.
So let's say we do purchase a kanga, Hana. What do you recommend we must do before?
So I would recommend to actually soak the kanga in oil, right? Usually you use coconut oil or an oil which is easily absorbed into a wood, right? And the reason why we do that is to ensure the kanga is majboot, which is strong. Right?
Yeah.
And it's long lasting as well.
Okay, so that's a good point. And then now as we go down, kada and kirpan.
Yeah. So basically for a kada and kirpan, it's advisable to have sarabalo.
Sarabalo means pure iron.
Yeah. And to look after them is just to ensure they are shining.
They are clean. Yeah.
So every time when we do our kakkar, this sambal, especially for sarabalo, is important because why it instills discipline in our life.
Yeah. So just like how we clean ਅਸੀਂ ਕੇਸ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਕੇਸ ਨੂੰ ਹਰੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਕੇਸਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੇਲ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ, even kanga as well, we also must make sure we clean our kade and our kirpana, hana. So how can we do that is that ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ kirpana manjane ਆ, like you know,
kirpana no manjane.
So like sand, I think we use sand.
Have you used ash before as well?
Yeah, like the paddy field ashes that we got from Indonesia, remember?
Yeah.
So those are really good because when we start cleaning them, all
immediately
the ganda
comes out.
And it shines, hana. So, and even for kade as well, I think nowadays it's become so common. Be kade te gurbani loni.
Yeah, it's advisable not to put gurbani onto your kada. Simply because you know, you go to washroom. We do things with the heart.
So gurbani da satkar
and gurbani je likhna hove, you can do it on your chakkar.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a good point. And I think kada should be a good size as well, not like the kind where you know you can just, I don't know, like
I've seen that before. You can bend it, so you shouldn't be that way. No.
It should be a good size.
The Singhs in the olden days used to have so many kade because it's a form of defense as well.
Defense, as well. Even with kirpan, it's a practical shastar. Guru Sahib has given us a kakkar. It must be a good size and it must be sharp because ajikal kirpana that we buy, they are blunt.
Yeah, it's just mere symbol for us, right? But I think it shouldn't be that way. It's a practicality of it.
So I think it should be sharp, and also we must make sure that the
it's
kirpan
easily usable.
Yeah,
and that's a need. So that's a tiyar pratyar
di nishani. You're always ready. Means, you know, it's not rusted and you can't take it off from your myan, hana?
Some of them just do a dead knot to it. And you can't even open it from the datra.
And you'll be like, you need to use a kirpan, it's not even coming out. So I think a good size kirpan, and you're always cleaning it. If it's rusted, if it's dirty, you make sure like every weekly or bi-weekly or even every month, at least, you check your shastar, you check your kirpana and clean it. And if you need be, I think kai kyo vi londe ya.
Yeah, so what you call, to ensure there's no rust, right? You have to ensure you have an oil
put some
around it so that it doesn't get rusted easily.
Yeah, so that's a good point. And now the last one, kashera. So I think you should speak about that first.
Yeah, so the rahat of a kachera is that it should at least be until your knees or above your knees, right?
For men?
For men,
okay.
I think for Bibian it's a bit difficult. And a kachera should be a revda kachera.
Okay.
There's a special type of kachera where you go to a tailor and you ask them, rev da kachera chahiye.
But what happens is with the rev kachera, your thighs are completely covered.
Yeah.
So there's no space in between, like,
So that's the reason why Maharaj actually gave us this rev da kachera.
Yeah, because nowadays people say, why can't we just wear boxes? But it's not the same thing.
Exactly, it isn't.
And kachera has to be...
I think what you call the reason why Maharaj asked the Singhs, or even what you call the ladies as well, to wear a white kachera is a matter of discipline. discipline.
Yeah.
So how do we know a Singh has a proper discipline in his life? Look at the kachera, but it's clean, means the Singh has a proper discipline in his life.
Yeah, that's a very good point, right? And kachera must be nale wala.
Yeah, so there is a dispute saying that, a kachera nale da hona chahida, or can we wear a rubber one? Elastic one, right? So of course it's advisable to wear a nale wala kachera, right? Of course, when it comes to kids, or even when it comes to adults who are unable to manage their kachera, then usually they say it's okay to wear an elastic kachera.
But recently, even on this argument as well, it says that elastic kachera, you have no prosa on it.
Of course, I remember. Yeah.
Do you want to share?
So yeah, there was this Sakhi, this Singh told us that, just imagine if let's say you were stranded somewhere
in the
samundar, in the sea, and at least you can rely on your nala. If you go into the sea, your kachera doesn't come off. Or it's so tight that even if someone pulls you, it's not going to come out. Yeah.
But
on elastic, on the other hand, it's so easily removable from your body.
Yeah. So there you go, Hana.
Yeah.
So at least anything happens to us, but our kachera will just cover our private parts and keep us covered. And I think for Bibia, a lot of Bibia will ask this question: how do we maintain our kachera on our menstruation cycle? And the thing is that we do wear underwear, right? Because we want to line the pad on it. And of course, then on top of that, we have to wear our kachera, Hana. And in Amrit Sanchar's, the Panch Pero also say that, chalo, if Bibia can wear white kachere, but they can wear any color kachere except for the Khalsa colors.
The Khalsa colors.
Yeah, blue and Nishan set color basically. Yeah. You can't wear those colors for kashera.
Basanta and also blue.
Hanji. So then it's for Bibia, then it becomes a practice. I feel that it comes a lot with practice, Hana, how to manage wearing your kashera when you're on your menstruation cycle. Yeah. Of course, you wear your underwear and then with the pad on it, and then you wear your kashera. So do you want to speak about Ekkalata di Maryada?
Yeah. So based on the Purani Singhs that advice us was, when you're changing your kachera, you also have to ensure you keep yourself covered. Right? And they advise to just cover yourself with towel and then put your kachera down. And you have to take one leg out and put it into a dry kachera and then put in your next leg into it.
So basically, when we're changing our kachere, we cannot remove the kachere completely from our body.
No, we can't do that.
Yeah, so it's basically the Maryada is, if I just want to show, is that as we're changing, we are covered. So one leg out, and then we wear the dry one, and then we take out the gilla and we put on the dry one again. So that way we always have our kakkars with us. Yeah? Talking about that, even when we do Ishnan, I've seen, we just hang our kirpan and basically don't have our kirpan on our body. So how do we manage our kirpan when we are doing Ishnan?
So of course the Singh's advice, right? You tie your kirpan on your head.
Do you want to show how it's done, since you have it?
So it's something simple like this. Hana? There you go.
Very nice. Simple, Hana?
Simple, yeah.
So it doesn't even come off easily as well.
So I'm not going to do too much because it's going to disrupt me.
Yeah, but we get the point.
Yeah.
So there you go. We just put the kirpana at the start, do our Ishnan, and once we are done, we
just
put it
right
back.
On again. Yeah.
Right? Okay, so I think that's the same as well. Even when we're doing Kesi Ishnan, where do we put our Kanga then?
So when it comes to Keshi Ishnan, there's a lot of question. How do you do Keshi Ishnan? So the advisable thing is, if you can do separately, first you do your Pindeda Ishnan, your body Ishnan, and once you're done with that, you wear your kirpan, and then you tie your keski around your waist, and you have your kanga just stuck into your gatra here.
Okay.
And then you just bow down a little bit, put your head down, and then you wash your.
Okay.
There's another option whereby the Singhs say that if you have an additional kirpan, you can just use that for your Ishnan.
So they call it like Ishnani kirpan?
Ishnani in the sense of Ishnan karan wali kirpan.
Ishnan karan wali kirpan.
Yes, so that you can use that and you can just do your Ishnan for your whole body.
Okay. Yeah. So those are very brief points on how to do sambal of our kakkars. But I'm pretty sure, I think there's a few things that we might not have.
Or we missed it.
Yeah, we might have missed it. Or there are some tips or you have been practicing on how to do sambal or how to take care of your kakkars. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any other tips, please do share with us in the comment below so that we can all educate each other on how to care for our Kakkars, which are gift given to us by Guru Gobind Singh Ji. So, Pullan Chukkan Dikima, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.